Good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome to what is expected to be an epically long Cliffyland's Global Cooking Challenge. This afternoon, this evening, we are going to be doing an epic night of cooking Qurutob. I hope I got that pronunciation right. With lamb shanks, one of the national dishes of Tajikistan. That is going to involve various components, including Fatir, which is a flatbread, Qurut, which is yogurt balls, and lamb shanks. Additionally, hello Vicky, oh, it's so lovely to see you. Thank you so much. So great seeing you. I've missed you guys so much. Yes, today we are cooking Tajikistan, which is one of the several Stan nations. This one is located just north of Afghanistan, south of Kazakhstan, connected China, and just barely missing Pakistan by that little tail of Afghanistan there. So that's it right in there. Good evening, Diana, Vicky, so great seeing you. You don't know how happy that makes me. It's been a day, and believe it or not, even though it's gonna take us 4 hours, I'm already late. I'm already late because this has got 1,000 moving parts. And I couldn't get my printer to print everything, and I'm still waiting for it. So, hello. Hopefully, eventually, I'll get that first page. The deal with this dish is that there's so many parts to it that if I was cooking this in Tajikistan, it would be easy because I'd be able to go to the corner store and buy the flatbread, and I could buy the yogurt bowls, and then, you know, that would be easy. However, nothing's ever easy. So I have to make my own flatbread, and I have to make my own yogurt bowls, and that's just a load of fun. Yes, we're doing okay. Things have been a little crazy. So therapy. This and you guys are here to help me with that. So we need to get moving, and I need to get everything cracking because like I said, I'm already 15, almost 20 minutes behind, if you can believe it. So I need to do a lot of stuff. You can go and buy these dried yogurt balls. However, we have to make our own, which is very exciting. So we're just gonna get moving, we're gonna do it, we're gonna get it done. Okay, so we've got the yogurt here, and I need to take a picture. That is going to be in the oven for an hour and a half. So you go in the oven for an hour and a half. Okay. Set timer for 1.5 hours. Please, 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 please work. I don't have time to wait for you. Set timer for 1.5 hours.
Your timer is set for 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Okay, moving on. Hey, YouTube lover, thank you for the like and stream and all that stuff. Thank you very much. Okay, now that we have it in the oven, we have to move on to our flatbread. I need to clear this out of the way. Our flatbread, I'm going to need a large bowl, and I'm going to need, I need to weigh this again. So looking for 0, 0, 0, 0, thank you. I need to put in 7 ounces of flour into this bowl. Is that really right? Sift 7 ounces of flour, yes. I'm not sifting. This is pre-sifted. I will live. 7 ounces. Let's see how much that is. Okay. 7 ounces. Hope I have enough. Lord, let there be enough. Okay. 3.7. 5.3. Hit me with 7. Exactly 7. Huzzah. Okay, we have sifted the flour. We're going to add in a half teaspoon of salt. Okay, half a teaspoon, half a teaspoon, half a teaspoon. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, half a teaspoon of salt goes into here. Camera, please, thank you. Okay. And after we do that, I need to break an egg and beat it into a bowl. Just beat it. Okay. Bowl. Okay, pork. We're moving at lightning speed here today. Pork. Egg. One egg. One trash bowl. We listen to Tajik music. The capital of Tajikistan is Dushanbe. They are not the most prosperous country. They are the least prosperous of the former Soviet republics. After they became independent at the end of the Soviet Union in 1991, they immediately launched into a civil war, which lasted until 1997, and then they've been trying to get themselves together ever since, with marginal success. Mostly, they live off their aluminum and, como se dice, cotton exports. Have you seen the Topless Baker? Yes, he's a very nice man, very handsome. I've seen him on both Meerkat and Periscope. I saw that lovely apron you guys did for him. He seems like a very nice fellow in your neck of the woods, I gather. So, yes, I have. How did that happen? How did this get all gross? I do not need gross. Don't have time for gross right now. Okay. Eggs. Okay, I'm gonna need to set aside 1/3 of a cup of water. 1/3 of a cup of water. Okay. Third. Okay. All right. That goes there. And now he has all the women after him, not just the women. When I saw him, it was like 60-40 men to women. Which is cool that he's cool. He's just, you know, I just imagine you'd get splatters in uncomfortable places. Okay, so now we're going to slowly add in the egg to this. That's already gross, so. Okay, egg slowly going in. Okay. Okay, slowly adding the egg. Slowly adding the egg. Slowly adding the egg. Egg added. The recipes for this bread, the bread is called Fatir, F-A-T-I-R, Fatir. The recipes for it have been notoriously vague, and then the one person that tried to unvague it did a very nice job of unvaguing it. The only problem was that they made a whole lot of bread, which is way more than I need. So this person who went to Tajikistan in search of Tajik food, apparently it's very hard to find Tajikistani food in Tajikistan. Because if the restaurants that there are, people want, you know, American or French or Italian or Chinese food. They don't want, you know, traditional Tajikistani food. So it's hard to find there. The one guy went on a mission in Tajikistan to find Tajikistani food and finally found it. And then he went about trying to find a way to get recipes for it and to recreate this. And so that's the dude. He practiced before this. Not really. Although I did, one of the reasons I'm late is I was sitting there trying to time, like down to the second, how long it would take to do each step, so I could get everything done by 7:45, and now it's going to be done by 8, and my timing's all off. I gave myself a little, there's about a 15-minute gap, like towards the end, where I actually have a time to take a breath. But now that 15-minute gap is later. So yeah, it's crazy. Thankfully, I've done random things before, so
I kind of know what to expect, and I know how long I take to do things, which is sort of part of my problem, that I wind up spending so much time doing things that other people would take far less time. So now that we have this, we're going to try to make a dough ball out of this. There we go. Thankfully, this particular recipe only makes one piece of the bread. So the because, like I said, the other recipes seem like they make like 6 or 8 pieces of the bread. And to top it all off, I only need half of one piece of bread for the very end. See, the way this dish works is the final product is you have something of a salad, well, not a salad, a dish with fried onions and some toppings and bread, pieces of bread in it, and normally it would be a vegetarian dish, but this version has lamb in it. It really is amazing, your dedication. Thank you so much, Vicky. I mean, you guys really, I don't want to get too emotional, but it's the way my life is, that contact with y'all is, you know, kind of my contact with the outside world for the most part, so, and today I really needed it, so I was looking forward to seeing y'all. I'm so happy you came by, you have no idea. So, we've got our dough ball that we're working on here. Yes, we are, but anyway, this is a dish, and it's going to have lamb on top of it, and it's got pieces of bread in it. And the thing about bread in Tajikistan is that it is said in Tajikistan that as much food as you may have, if you don't have bread, you don't have food. Which is all well and good for the people of Tajikistan. Not so great for me, because bread is sort of not my strong suit by a long shot. So, we've got this bowl here, and we are going to let it rest for 30 minutes. We have to cover it. I hear you, yes. Yeah, well, I imagine you would, considering, you know, now that you're online only, you're not, you know, having people running into you all the time. How's that going, by the way? I hope it's going well. Because I remember when I had my online business in the 90s, it did a job on my head, as does my present circumstance as well. But now I have this, so. Okay, so half an hour, 30 minutes. Correct? Correct. Covering you. Hold on. Dough bowl, 30 minutes. Boom. So 30 minutes. Okay. Set timer for 30 minutes. Are you gonna work this time? Okay, this one is for the yogurt. This one is for the dough ball. Okay, so that I had suggested that would be, so it would be 4 or 5 of this. Okay, I've caught up a little bit. Okay, moving on. Okay, we're gonna set out some stuff. We're gonna set out butter, 5 tablespoons of butter into that bowl right there. 5 tablespoons of butter, and that is how many of these? Oh my God, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to soften this to room temperature. We're not gonna need it for a while. It's got plenty of time to get there. But like I said, bread is life there, and this particular dish, this particular bread. Austin, my goodness, good man. Hello, thank you for liking the restream. Rob, hello, so good seeing you. Yay. How I've been, of course, I always see your snaps, so I know, you know, I see Cookie and Charlie all the time. And you guys see my kitty, who always runs for the hills the second he starts hearing the banging of pots and pans. Hello, entertainment, hello. Buenas, ¿cómo te va? Comida Tajikistan. Okay, butter, letting it soften to room temperature, over here. Next, in a big hurry, sesame seeds. We need 1/2 teaspoon of sesame seeds. Won't be needing that till later. but I'm getting it ready now because now is when I have the time, supposedly. Sesame seeds. Sesame seeds, sesame seeds. Okay, boom, sesame seeds. Rob, thank you for the legendary stream. Yay! Oh, yes. You've made my day. Okay, half teaspoon of sesame seeds. Oh boy, it's just today has been just so horrible. Half teaspoon sesame seeds. There we go. Okay, next. We have to start prepping our lamb shanks. It was que estamos preparando hoy. Qurutob, that's Qurutob, Qurutob, which is like a dish that has pieces of bread in it, and lamb in this case, and vegetables, and dried yogurt balls. We're making the yogurt balls in the oven right now. A ver si un día preparamos un mangú con salsa mi dominicano. Cuando llega a la República Dominicana la segunda vez, será, pero eso será por unos años, por la otra vez. I've not heard of Tajikistan. Tajikistan is, okay, you got Afghanistan, and then you have Pakistan, and then you have that little tail on Afghanistan, like right on top of that is Tajikistan. You got China, and then Kazakhstan, and it's small, and it's in there. Have a glass of wine. No time, no time! Though I could use it. I could use more than one relaxing substance at this point. But, no time. Our lamb shanks. I had to go hunting for the lamb shanks. I had to go hunting for everything. Today I had the shortest, one of my shortest grocery shopping lists. I had like only 4 things to buy, and would you believe it took me 3 stops to buy 4 things. Because the store on the corner didn't have the lamb shanks and didn't have parsley. And parsley. They didn't have parsley. The other store didn't have parsley either. So I had to go to... One didn't have the lamb shanks, one didn't have yogurt, one didn't have parsley. It was just a real pain in the patoot. So, lamb shanks. And I spot Diana, yes, Anne Marie, Landing Point, thank you for the like and restream. Sabe preparar mofongo. Voy a tratar de hacer mofongo. Al final va a ser una noche de Puerto Rico. Después que acabo, es una fiesta con la familia. I said when I'm done, because I'm late. It's long. It's gonna be 4 hours, and I'm already late. I started 15 minutes later than I expected because everything is so down to the second on this, and there are 4 different things that are, you know, in preparation in this process. That if any one of them runs behind, it throws everything off. Because each one thing is like an hour, 2 hours, and there's stuff that has to happen in between. So that's why I'm in a rush. Ha! How's things with power cuts and humidity? Okay. The humidity is a little better because it is January. So we have nice weather for a change, for a brief time. And then it's going to be hot again. But the problem is I run longer when it gets cooler, which is what I want to do. However, I go longer, which means I kind of sort of injured myself. Which meant I couldn't run yesterday, which depressed me. So, that. Lamb shanks, right here. Lamb shanks, first time I made lamb shanks for Cyprus. Check it out at cliffyland.com. The first dish I made that was like, wow, that's restaurant quality for Cyprus, so check that out. But these are lamb shanks. I need a pen, I need a pen, I need a pen. Okay, here we are. Tomatoes. They need to clean and quarter tomatoes. Also, I bought tomatoes, and I think one of them rolled away. So it must have been in the parking lot of the grocery store, which sucks eggs. But we got 2 tomatoes. I don't know what happened to the 3rd one. I think we'll have to live. Because we ain't got time. Ain't got time. Tomatoes. Okay. So, you go in here. And, or tomato, tomato, tomato. Label, label, no label. Label, label, label. I do not know where that tomato went. I thought it was in the car, maybe. I did not find it in the car. Isn't lamb really expensive? I've never had. You've never had lamb? Oh my goodness. Jeez, I've had more lamb. I'd say a full third of the countries I've done have involved lamb, or at least a quarter, because mostly Islamic countries, that's going to be your protein of choice. Lamb can be expensive, depends what country you're in. If you're in the U.S., it's not as common, so it can be more expensive. The Shanks, though, I tell you, the Shanks it's like this one piece of meat that is, simple, and I like it. It's very good. And it's easy to prepare. I found good, easy recipes for lamb. Like I said, that one from Cyprus, which was the first one I did, which was really remarkably good. But even the very, very first dish I did, which was Afghanistan, that was a lamb stew, and that was out of this world. And after we hit Zimbabwe and we start back around again, you will see what that one's like. We're quartering these, and I put the wrong piece in there. Lamb shanks, cheap in the UK. Do you have mint sauce, Cliffy? Yes, because you guys have a lot of lamb there. Mint sauce, no. Actually, you know what? I think somewhere along the line, I did something that had mint and lamb, but not really. I'm not sure, actually. But that is the common thing, roast lamb and a mint jelly. Thing is, until I started this whole thing, I really did not like mint. Now I have it, and it, works in certain places. It was for a little chop, so I thought, no way. That's a bit much. $18 for, yeah, you're in a bad place there for that, I guess. Because lamb can be really good. Get a leg of lamb and go crazy nuts. You can get ground lamb in a package. That's a little more expensive, but you can do stuff with it. We did last week a lot. Okay, bowl. Okay, we're mixing, in this bowl, we're mixing half a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon, 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 half a teaspoon. Clifford? No, that's not half. Okay, is that half? Yes, okay. Mint sauce is wrong. I don't get it. I don't get it. But again, I never really did like mint. Wow, I could supply a whole lamb for that cost. Yeah. Certain countries, it depends. Like, I was talking to Derek, who's in Scotland. They're lamb all day and night. But sirloin, very expensive there. As opposed to here, it's really cheap. Okay, ground cumin. We're going for half a teaspoon of ground cumin, ground cumin, half a teaspoon of ground cumin. I should have put that in a different bowl, but I will live. Half a teaspoon of ground cumin. Okay, and then a quarter teaspoon of ground coriander. Okay, quarter teaspoon of ground coriander. Which one's a quarter? Hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me. Big money, big money. Okay, quarter teaspoon ground coriander, and then 1/8 a teaspoon of chili powder. Chili powder. Ta-da! Okay, I guess you're trash. My man used to drown in lamb in mint sauce, very vinegary. No. You remember, what's her name? B. Arthur? Golden Girls, Maud? If it's probably on Apple Music or Spotify or whatever, her one-woman show. Go and listen to the first track of her one-woman show. It's just hysterical. We saw her in person. She just came out on stage, everyone applauded. She stood there and she recited, from memory, just a recipe for lamb and mint sauce. And that was the whole bit. And everyone just died laughing. It was very funny. Just her standing there saying, oh, I like to put some this and that and tomatoes and whatever, and just people laughing. Saying that you would drive to Wales and just take lamb for free. Okay. La, 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 la. Get on there. Yes, I want to go to New Zealand. And I know I can find all the lamb in the world there. Since there are more sheep than people. Okay. So, we have mixed up our spices in the bowl. Focus. And now, we're going to coat the lamb with these spices. Both sides. Get all up in there. Coat it, coat it, coat it, coat it, coat it, coat it, coat it. All over. Man, it's so good. Have you had gyros? Diana, you've had gyros, right? I mean, that's lamb. If you've never had gyros, find yourself a Greek restaurant and have gyros. Love that. I mean, that's the one, but you have to have the big, you know, roasting thing. Yeah, I can't imagine doing that in the home. Because I don't have the machinery and a giant, you know, piece of lamb. Okay, so we've coated this once. Once? Did you not like it, or did you just not have the opportunity again? One of my favorite things in Columbus is we lived across from this Greek restaurant. They had this thing that wasn't on the menu. They had like a Greek burger, which they made a combination of beef and lamb and whatever, and it was just sinful. I gained like 5 pounds every time I had one. Kebab. Yeah, kebabs are great. I just don't make grilled meats because it involves the grill. I try to avoid that. Wow, I really am. Okay. Here we go. Spin, spin, spin. Okay, I'm going to break out. I don't know if you guys saw this before. Okay. Yeah, workout ready. Heavy. The new cast iron skillet. I don't know if you saw it. To have around here would be a 2-hour drive. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I know some people the mail order for meats. I don't think I'd feel comfortable doing that, but I know they come in frozen and blah blah blah. So, okay, so here we go. We're gonna use the cast iron skillet, and I can't believe I'm about to do this. It's gonna be on high. The cast iron skillet. Hi, yi, yi. And olive oil. And I know the cast iron and high heat and clobbering time with that pan. Yeah. This was Christmas gift. Very, very heavy and actually a bit too large for my stove, which adds its own series of challenges. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Going right onto the pan. Ay, Dios mío, Santa Cristo bendito, protégeme todo. Okay, spreading you out. And how hot is it gonna get? Okay, while that heats up, I'm gonna drink water. Ha! Where's my water? Need water. Come on. Whew. Heat up. Faster, faster. You know, it's weird. I didn't think I'd be able to find Tajik music, and there's like these compilations of Tajikistan pop music, volume 1 through 4, so we're going to go through all 4 of them today. We know it's all the rage in Dusham, in downtown Dusham. Okay. Oh, that's my water. I heard something bubbling. It's this. Okay. Come on, baby. I know it has to be hot enough before I drop it in. I know. Tong, 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 tong. Get that pan hot as hell. Yes. Things I've learned. Not too much Detail, I need to borrow Mrs. Funky for 5 minutes. Catch you later, Cliffy. Bye. Not a problem. Thank you so much. See you later. Don't give me ideas. Cute. Okay, hot, please. Okay, I hear a crackle. I see smoke. That tells me that's time. So we're gonna brown this on all sides. Picture, smell pretty. Okay. Shenanigans. Okay, I'm still 15 minutes behind. What the heck? I did not know there's old plastic cap on that. Oopsie. Now I know. So trying to get a sear on the lamb shanks. Like I said, I've made lamb shanks a couple times. The Cypress lamb shanks I made were just to die for. I made them twice for us and then once for my parents. And each time it was really, really good. But each time it took a long time. And this one's going to be no different. This is going to have to be in the oven. And it goes in the oven for 2.5 hours. Which is why I'm in a rush. Lydia, how are you doing? Hey, good seeing you. Oh yeah, that's good. And quiet, I can hear the sizzle. Yes. And smoky. Which, you know what, I can afford to do. Don't make it loud for y'all. Oh, which reminds me. I kind of goofed. Because, I wanted to use the non-stick, the cast iron, but I'm going to have to use the non-stick also because that needs to go in the oven and it needs to be covered, and I don't have anything that can cover the humongous cast iron skillet. So, alas. Okay, none of my business? I missed something. Okay. Roasted, toasted, you're the one I most did. Okay. All sides, all nice and brown. Good sear. Bingo. Okay, done. Into the pan. Other pan that can be covered. Sorry about the smoke. Tomatoes go into this pan over here. There should be more tomatoes, but you know, life is rough sometimes. Okay. And am I right? Okay, in the oven for 2.5 hours, this sucker. I hear you yelling, no? What am I missing? There's something I'm missing. Don't move the meat. I'm not just supposed to be browning it. I'm just supposed to be browning it on all sides. Now it's going to be in the oven for 2.5 hours. So, timer. Let's start this timer. Timer. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Can you do that? Timer. No, that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Shoot. 60, 120. Oh my god. 120. 180. 18000. That's not going to work either. What other timing thing do I have? This, you. Timer, here. Timer. 2, 3, 0. Start. No. Oven's still on. Timer. 2 hours and 30 minutes. Start. Okay. You, in the oven. Boom. Okay, now, it is, oh my god, I'm only 4 minutes behind now, yay! Bread. Which timer do I have going for the bread? The bread was 30 minutes. Which timer do I have? I've got 3 timers going. 8 more minutes to go. Okay. So, 8 minutes. I can take a deep breath for 8 minutes and clean. Oh, sorry, I'm crazy. Sorry. It was bananas. I mean, having a crappy day, and then having to go to the grocery store, and then finding out that the store didn't have what I needed, and then having to go to the other store, and then getting trapped behind the bridge, and then almost getting hit in traffic somewhere else, and then finding out that they didn't have everything I want, and then getting attitude at the other place, and getting back here, and it's just been a rough day. There's other stuff happening that I can't get into. But that's added into everything. And then this, like I said, it has so many parts because I have to take the bread, I have to rest the bread, I have to roll out the bread, I have to roll it up, I have to rest it again. Meanwhile, I have to get the yogurt bowls going, and I have to get the lamb going, and then I need to make the, prep the stuff for the final product. And there's something else that I'm missing in there too, I tell you. So already the dinner is going from being at 7:45 to 8. Good times. No. Plastic should not go in the garbage disposal. One little thing I know. Now you can just relax and cook for us. Oh, word. So I have 8 minutes, and I need to flour the surface over there. Oh my god. Yes, I have to clean that all up because I need to roll out the dough. The dough is, like I said, this recipe takes the normal recipe for this thing for the bread, and instead of making like 8 breads or 5 breads, it only makes 1, but I only need 1/2 of it at the end. Which is good that I won't have quite so much left over. But then to decide what I can only cook for 2 nights this week. It can only go up from here, Cliffy. Diana, you guys are so great. But I can only cook for 2 nights. Not the least of which is the fact there aren't that many recipes. Also, do you know what a plov is? P-L-O-V, plov. You might know it as pilaf, like rice pilaf. That is sort of what it's evolved to in the States and Western lands. But plov, P-L-O-V, and various other spellings and pronunciations, is sort of like an invention of Central Asia. People can argue over who invented it. However, it'll be a large dish with rice and a variety of different recipes, rice and fruits and nuts. I made one for Azerbaijan way before Facebook, before Meerkat, and that was really good, but I didn't want to have to make another one so soon, or at all, because I didn't want to make 10 different plovs. But I'm going to have to make a second one. Yes, pilaf, indeed. So I'm going to make a plov, I think, on Tuesday, Tajikistani style. However, that's also the national dish of Uzbekistan. Hey, Anthony, I see you there. Good seeing you. Like I said, it's also the national dish of Uzbekistan, which will be coming up in a few weeks. So it's going to be tough. I don't want to, double up so quickly either. So I'm going to have to try to find what's different about the Uzbeki. as Herman Cain would say, Becky Stan. Anybody remember that from 2012? Not knowing who the president of Becky Stan was? But this is Tajikistan. Tajikistan in Central Asia. You've heard of the Silk Road, you've heard of Marco Polo, you know, passed through there. It was conquered by a variety of different, dozens of different empires over the millennia. Finally it was part of the Russian Empire, part of the Soviet Union, and then they broke apart. But the Tajiki people live throughout Tajikistan, as well as Iran and Afghanistan and Uzbekistan, but mostly in Tajikistan. But there's a whole big debate under the origin of the term Tajik because of who. There's all this political stuff about that. It's really kind of annoying. Whether it originated with Persians or Turk people. So they fight over that. So we'll find out more about that when we get to Turkmenistan in a few weeks too. And then those will be our last. We have only 2 more stands after this. Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. No, Turkmenistan, sorry. This is Tajikistan. See, even I'm getting my stands all mixed up. Okay, so we're gonna have to flour this surface, but first I need to clean it. Anthony, how are things out there? You know what? It just so happened I was looking at, I believe, well, yes, it was Periscope, because they do that little map thing, and I was curious. There were 2 people, nobody live, but 2 people with saved streams from Dusham in Tajikistan, and some very good-looking Russian guy. On his balcony looking at the snow. So now I know what Dusham looked like this morning. It's snowing apparently. Very mountainous there. Okay, we are doing well. Okay, I think I can turn the fan off now. And off. Alright, so we are almost ready on you. And clear off some space here. What to do? Okay, this is still resting. My water. Flour here. I need my rolling pin. My rolling pin. And we're gonna need flour. And maybe you want to bird's eye view there. Sorry for the wobble. Okay. Okay. So I need to put flour down here. I need to get this out of the way. I thought I could do with it, but no. Ding, 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 ding. Timer. Timer done. Okay. Just in time. Good to hear, Anthony. Okay. So we've got our bowl. It's been resting for the 30 minutes. So now we need to roll this into a floured surface. Flour into a 6-inch by 12-inch rectangle. Do you eat lamb? Rob said it's cheap to buy there. Now, Anthony, are you in Wales, or are you just near Wales, or do you just sometimes go to Wales? I'm a little confused on that one. Buy, not buy. Oh, how could be you're going to be so tired after this. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep. Tomorrow morning I'm gonna sleep in like you have no idea. Okay, 6-inch by 12-inch rectangle. So you... Good times. Okay, it's gonna be washed anyway. Deal with it. Okay, I need an idea of dimensions because Cliffy has no concept of space. 6-inch by 12-inch. That's basically the size of this. That's easy. You will be tired. Yes, I will. I am sure of it. This bread. Okay, so the thing with bread and the Tajikistani is that, like I said, they say if you don't have bread, you don't have food. You could have all the meat in the world, but if you don't have bread, you don't have food. And they make such a production out of bread that if you look and you'll see pictures, it is beautiful. Their flatbreads have beautiful, intricate designs on them, which are really quite something to see. And of course, I'm not going to approximate anything like that, but they'll do small breads, which is like what we're going to try here, for everyday occasions, and you'll see, you know, them loaded up, big stacks of them. Also, they make big giant ones for special occasions like weddings and such. And you can find those online. They'll be like big like that, and they'll have all these patterns and stuff all punched into them. It's really quite beautiful. Not attempting that either. There are many food traditions. For instance, you are not to ever allow food to bread to be. The table. Everyone eats communally on like a tablecloth on the ground or on a table. And if the bread is never supposed to be like upside down hitting the tablecloth, that's like horrible bad luck. And then you should never throw it away. You put it up on top somewhere for the birds to eat it. There's all these things about bread in Tajikistan. It's because the land is such that you can grow wheat and such there. So that's what that's about. Okay, this is as close to that square as we're gonna get. So, Cliffy says, Jessica, hello Jessica! Anthony Gilmore, I used to live in Wales, now I live in England. Ah, Creole. Okay, so we've got this, and now we're gonna cut this lengthwise. Screw it. Just so I can say I have a rectangle. Ish. Should I try that? Stick it on the end? I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna stick. Or maybe it will. Huh, maybe it did. Okay, yay! What are we making today? Today I'm making many parts to one large dish, which is called the Qurutob. 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 We're starting in the Qurut, which is the dried yogurt balls we can't buy, we have to make. That's in the oven. Yogurt in the oven right now. This is the bread, which is called, one more time, it is called Fatir, which is a flatbread. This one is more like almost like a puff pastry. And so we're going to cut this in half in 2 slices thusly. And then we're going to spread butter on this. And it is not softened enough, so I'm going to soften that more. I've never even heard of Tajikistan before. So cool. Yes. Former Soviet Union broke apart in 1991. So you know all those pieces that you see between like Afghanistan and Pakistan and Soviet Union and the Black Sea. So you got like the big giant one. Hey, we got a map. Hold on. What am I describing? I have a globe, right? I'm staring right at a globe too. So you got the globe, right? So here you got your Russia over here, and you have Pakistan and Afghanistan there. So are you with me so far? Pakistan is India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and this big one is Kazakhstan. And this small one over here is Kyrgyzstan, which we did before, Meerkat. And this little one here, which is sort of like an upside down U, is Tajikistan. Tajikistan right there. And it's separated by that tiny little, that little part of Afghanistan from Pakistan. So you can cut across Afghanistan to get right to Pakistan. So that's Tajikistan. And now we are going to brush butter onto our dough. Now, normally this should be half butter, half lamb fat. But I could not find lamb fat anywhere. Shockingly, right? So we're getting butter. So we're using all butter. And we're brushing it all over this. This is what's going to make it all fluffy. Fluffer duffer. Now, like I said, the recipes for the bread that one would find normally would be incredibly vague because it'd be roughly translated from Tajiki, which is sort of like a form of Persian, to whatever language, English or what have you, or Russian. Somebody made the point of figuring it all out, making mistakes, and then getting it right, and then that was in turn chopped down to this particular version, which thankfully only makes one piece of the bread, because that's all we need for the version that we're doing, because this bread, once it's made, it gets broken up into pieces and cooked in with the lamb and juices from the lamb and all that other good stuff. So, I don't buy lamb, but I have eaten it once or twice. Yes, that is so cool. Learning with Cliffy. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Okay. But like I said, they are not the happiest place in the world. They you know, one thing they oddly use a lot of cotton oil. I never really heard of cotton oil, but cotton oil, because they grow a lot of cotton and mine aluminum. That's their cash stuff there. But when they broke up from the Soviet Union, they launched into a civil war for 5 years, which ended in 1997, and they've been sort of trying to, you know, get their stuff together. I have a hungry kitty. He never comes in the kitchen when I'm cooking. Never, but it's early. Okay, so now that we have this, I'm gonna roll one, I need to take a picture. We need to roll one strip into a cylinder, and then you'll see what happens next. Okay, we're gonna take one, and we'll roll it up. Rolling, 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 rolling into a cylinder. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, rolling. Rolling the one into a cylinder. Should be tighter than that, I think. Maybe it doesn't matter that much. But you will see what happens next. Because after we make our cylinder with our one roll of this, then we take the cylinder and put it on the other one and keep rolling to make an even bigger cylinder. And take a picture. Hold on. Sometimes I wish I had Google Glass. It'd be so much easier. Have you ever tried talking to Siri and saying "Okay Google" or "Okay Glass"? See what happens? It's very funny. Okay. Roll up number 2. So we're making one big ass cylinder of rolled up dough with butter all on the inside. Herbie, thank you. Thank you for the restream. So we have our big cylinder, and then what happens? We need to cover it and refrigerate it for an hour. That gives us till 6 o'clock. Wow, I'm actually on time again. Yay, me! Okay, I've got my time back. So you are getting covered and refrigerated. Okay. Get our lily pads out again. I don't need the big one anymore. I can use the next size down. Ta-da! Lily pads by Charles Viancin, VIANCIN.com. Because they're really great. Jessica says, do you guys like all the dishes you've made from the different countries so far? Not all of them. Usually the bad stuff has been mostly earlier on when I really didn't know what I was doing. And usually been operator error. Not to say that the cuisine of every country in the world is equal, but it is possible to make a good tasty dish from any country. I've discovered that one. If you have an idea what you're doing. Which, like I said, I did not. For at least the first year. It wasn't until I got to Cyprus, which was country number like 40 something, that I finally did a dish which is really great, and that was with lamb shanks, which we're using today. But the very first dish I did from Afghanistan was really great too. Really crappy one. The most crappy one that actually made it into our mouths was from Benin. And not because of Benin's dish, but it was actual yams. Not sweet potatoes, but actual yams. What you think are yams, and if you think they're orange sweet potato things, you're thinking of sweet potatoes. Actual yams are big and ugly and knobby and like that, and mostly eaten in Africa. But that combination of that being a difficult item to cook and me not knowing what the bleep I was doing resulted in bad that time. But that was a long time ago. Okay, so butter, it is, what time it is? Wow, yay me. I can move on to prepping my Qurutob. So I'm starting doing the prep work, what's going to wind up later, but I need to clean this up. So, hold that thought. Cleaning. I can't deal with mess. OCD is not a good thing. Oh, which reminds me. I need to make you guys look another direction. In just a minute. This is messy. And I have to mess this up again later, but not right now. Okay. Yams are from Africa, I always thought. Yes, actual yams are from Africa. See, what happened was the sweet potatoes, what we in the U.S. call yams, that are sweet potatoes, the American farmers needed something to serve their slaves, and they had these sweet potatoes, and they said, how can we get these people to eat this thing they're not familiar with? We'll call it yams. That's something they're familiar with from Africa. We'll just call them yams and they'll eat them. And so, in America, what are actually sweet potatoes came to also be called yams, even though yams are something else entirely. They're white and not orange on the inside. And they taste very different. It is also a root vegetable, though. And it can be prepared much the same way. In Africa, there's about 100 different names for a thing called pap, which is basically a stiff porridge made from any number of substances, sometimes yams, sometimes sweet potatoes. Yams are from Africa. I only like regular potatoes. Ah, you gotta expand your horizons, my good woman. You know, I've learned that if anything is cooked right, it can be very tasty. Because I started out not liking a whole bunch of things, but saying I'm going to be open to it, and I'm going to cook it, and if I don't like it, I'm purposely going to cook it, and then I turned out kind of liking it. Some things I like a lot that I didn't like at all. Some things I'm just okay with. Like eggplant. I never liked eggplant. Now I'm okay with, now I eat eggplant all the time. Not my favorite thing, but I like it a lot more. Before I hated it. Okay, so now I'm getting to prep the stuff for the Qurutob. And this is upside down. You know what? This actually works both ways, doesn't it? I'm so picky with my food. I wish to be more open to trying different foods, but I don't know. Try. Baby steps. Baby steps. Baby steps. There's so much vast goodness in the world that it seems a shame to cut yourself off from big bunches of it. I have a relative who is very extreme on that front. In terms of the picky eating. I mean, like, really extreme. And someone else I know. Really, really extreme. Picky. And it's no fun going out to dinner. That's the least of it. You know, people talked about different, reasons for, biological, hereditary things vis-a-vis picky eating and so forth. So they say that they say that. I don't, that's not necessarily me, so I can't really speak, from personal experience. So I was always an adventurous eater. That like whatever the strangest thing on the menu, that's what I would order. So when I was a little kid at restaurants, and the waiter would come up with the escargot and put it in front of my dad and goes, "It's not for me, it's for the kid." And they go, "What?" You go, "Your 7-year-old is eating escargot?" Yeah, he is. It's like, oh, okay. So I haven't made escargot yet on this challenge. I missed my chance when I got to France. Streaming voice, Tony, thank you for liking the restream. Sometimes the texture can make a difference in whether you like or something. That is true. That is definitely true. That is true. The texture can be a thing. It can be. I don't know what to say. Well, it's an unpeeled onion, so I don't have to worry about washing it, but I do need to worry about peeling it. Okay. Yes, okay. So, peeling. This one's gonna be sliced thinly. Thinly sliced. Yep. Yeah, there's color, texture, smell, and flavor are all things that go into whether we like things or not. J.R. Pazar, thank you for the like and the restream. Yes, so all those factors, things factor into things, which is one of the reasons that whole dining in the dark thing, those restaurants where it's complete pitch black, and you're served by blind people, and you can't see the food you're eating, would make for an interesting challenge, because, it's taking away your sight from the dining process. Okay, thinly slicing. Oh my god, normally the eyes don't go on this, but for me, right now they are. Okay. I would be using a mandolin for this, but why is this suddenly a problem for me right now? Okay. Thinly slicing. Trying to thinly slice the onion without thinly slicing my hands. Okay. Ta-da! Okay. This is going to be for the Qurutob at the end. These are going to end up being caramelized and then mixed in with the bread and the juices from the lamb and the tomatoes, which are being cooked in with the lamb right now. I don't know about everyone else, but for me, psychologically, I don't have to even be looking at a certain thing. Tasting it or smelling it and I'll have a reaction to it. Like if I'm thinking about vinegar and lemons and limes and whatever and I'm seeing on TV, I start having a reaction. Just seeing it on television. And when I'm writing my blog if I'm writing a blog and I'm talking about something I pickled in vinegar or something, I start sweating just from like thinking about it, remembering it. Which is very exciting. Okay. So like, right now I'm sweating, but the oven is on behind me. So I'm gonna turn the air down because it's hot. Okay. Garbage. Okay. Thinly slicing the 2 onions. Oh, that's what I hate about glasses. When I start sweating, they're like running down my nose. Katie! Katya, thank you for liking the restream. Okay. Okay, almost there. How are we doing on time? 5:05. 5:20. 5:20. 10 minutes. Okay. So far, so good. Looking for the yogurt bowls to come out of the oven, or to be ready for the next phase in the oven in any case. The oven is set at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and everything is going to have to cook at 300 degrees Fahrenheit, because there are 3 different things that have to be in the oven at one time or another, and sometimes simultaneously. Like right now, we have our yogurt baking in the oven, as well as our lamb separately in a covered dish, but eventually we'll be baking in an uncovered dish. This is not good knife skills, but you know, c'est la vie. Okay, onions, sliced onions. Really cool, you're up to the theater. I don't know what that word is. Okay, so there. Okay, I need like a rubber band to hold these glasses back. Onions. Okay, so I'm gonna clean this off and throw this away, and then do quick prep stuff for later. So let me clean this off. You know, one version of this I saw, I think, had turnips and carrots, but I might be confusing that with the plov, which I'm cooking on Tuesday, with apricots, or apricots, depending on your pronunciation. Okay. Alrighty. Do you know anyone who's ever been to Tajikistan? A friend of mine, who, one day I just looked at his Facebook feed and he was like, "Surprise, I'm in Kyrgyzstan." And I was like, "How did you suddenly magically appear in Kyrgyzstan?" And, apparently it was very spur of the moment. I also have my, global traveling friend who went to every country in the world without flying and got the Guinness World Record for being the first person to ever do so. And so he traveled by buses and trains throughout there. How many countries do you have till you complete your challenge? There are 193 UN member states. This is country number 170, which gives us 23 more weeks before we hit Zimbabwe and finish. And then we got plans for what happens next. But that's a different story. Okay, so we've got our onions here. I'm gonna put this over this way. We have set aside let me get my pen. I'm doing good here. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So yes, after Zimbabwe, I am, depending on the order of things, either taking a vacation or doing Puerto Rico, since that's my people. 1, 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. And then I'm thinking of doing a certain number of non-UN member state territories before I start phase 2. Anthony, thank you so much for coming by. Appreciate it very much. Thank you for taking time out of your day. All hail the Queen. Okay. Okay, so there was some splatter, and now I'm gonna have to mop. Jessica says, like the Jackie Chan movie where he traveled around the world in 80 days. The original was Around the World in 80 Days. David Niven movie won the Oscar in I want to say 50, I forgot what year. What year did Around the World in 80 Days win the Oscar?
I don't see any movies matching Around the...
You're not helping me. Who is in the movie Around the World in 80 Days? Now it's going to tell me which one. Which one? 1956. Yes, David Niven movie. 1956. The Jackie Chan thing was sort of like a vague sort of, attempt at a remake. But not really, because it's very different. Of course, that's based on the novel, and I'm feeling like a boob for forgetting who wrote the novel. Looking for a 1/4 cup of water here. Come on, baby. Okay, 1/4 cup of water. This is all going to be for a Qurutob at the end. There's a reality show which lasted for 1 season because I liked the premise, but the execution was not good. On Bravo, called Around the World in 80 Plates, which was interesting idea of a movie. That the idea was you took people in chefs and then had them go fly to a country and then run around, try to find out about the food of the country, and then they had a challenge. I had to cook a native dish of the country. But then it became like Survivor, where they had to be teams and vote out the weakest link and blah, 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 and then they had to fly to another country. So I didn't like that part. I liked the cooking part. The whole, vote out your stiffest competition part I thought was stupid. Which is probably why it did not last past the first season. Okay, which timer is going where? Let me see where my timers are at, because I'm all confused now. Okay, I've got 20 minutes on one timer, which was set for 1.5 hours. Right, and that's for the yogurt. And then my other timer for the lamb has 1 hour and 51 minutes to go. And then the bread, where's our bread? The bread is in the oven. No, the bread is in the refrigerator, and that comes out in 45 minutes. So at 5:20, the yogurt should be ready at 5:20. No, that's the yogurt. The yogurt balls will be ready in 20 minutes. So now I can get my parsley and basil together. Okay. Okay, chiffonade. Anybody ideas? Your experienced chefs. Old news to you. To me, it was new news to me until I did it the first time. Chiffonade. Chiffonade. Apparently the spell check doesn't like chiffonade. I've got a parsley, which I had to go to 3 stores to buy parsley, if you can believe that. And, okay. Chiffonade. Chifffonade. Chiffonade. That's what we're going to do to the parsley and to basil. And hopefully I'm going to figure out how to have 2 tablespoons worth of it. Okay. 2 tablespoons, eh? Hopefully, I'm guessing right. Come on. Let go. Yeah, I know I could undo the bottom. Okay. Ay, Dios mío. Okay. This is very wet. Should not be wet. It needs to be dry. You should open your own restaurant and have food from all over the world. Yeah, that's sweet of you. I would go to that restaurant. I couldn't run it, but I certainly would eat there. There was a place when I was a kid. Now, mind you, I don't know how old you are, but I'm old. Before the concept of the food court was a thing. Now, what I'm about to describe to you, you're gonna say, "What's so exciting? That sounds like a food court." But trust me when I tell you, the food court did not exist when I was a kid. And there was this place that opened in my hometown, and it was kind of large warehouse space, and it was called the Yumbrella. I love that name, the Yumbrella. And they had what now you would recognize as a food court. But then they had restaurants from all these different countries. So this one was Chinese, and one had soul food, and one had Indian food, and one had Cuban food, and I was just in one had Italian food, one had Mexican food, and I was in hog heaven. I was like, oh my god, I need to come here every night and have a different thing every night. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then they closed, and they opened a Nathan's hot dogs instead. And my little heart was broken. I'm 22, yes. So, you don't remember a world without food courts. Yes. Yes, I'm way, way beyond that. Yeah, so they didn't have food courts back then. Now you go, hey, what big deal? You got a Panda Express here, and you got a, whatever there, and you've got a Taco Bell on the other side, and what's the big deal? Then that was a new concept. I was so excited. So I have to try. The OCD made me kind of want to have one of every one, and to keep coming back till I've had everything. So, those are the seeds that were planted a million years ago, before this. So now, I think my mother kind of recognizes that that this is kind of a thing. I mean, when I was a kid, when I was supposed to be studying and doing my homework in middle school, and I wasn't doing it, but they were like, well, he's locked in his room reading the whole time. What the hell are you doing if you're not doing your homework? And I was like, I was reading an encyclopedia. And I was keeping index cards and notebooks filled with all the information about every country. And I was thinking, I'm doing my own homework. I don't like your homework. I like mine. Mine's more interesting. Remember encyclopedias? You don't remember encyclopedias. Now I have Wikipedia. Then you had to have books. And it was not better. It was not better that way. It was worse that way. Okay, so now we've had the leaves here. So now the idea to I don't know how I'm going to do this with these tiny leaves, but I'm going to try. The idea of doing a chiffonade is to stack leaves and then do stuff with the stack of leaves. But these are tiny leaves, so I don't know how that happens. But we're going to do our level best to accomplish this. So you make a little stack of the leaves, and then roll up the little stack of leaves as best as we can. I mean, this is me doing this for only the second time in my life, so... And when we have them all rolled up, then we chiffonade. So basically you're making little strips of the herbs. This would be a lot easier if they were the type of, like, spinach or something with a bigger leaf. Such a Rebel, lol. Wikipedia? Yeah, indeed. Yes. Where would we be without Wikipedia today? They have more employed encyclopedia salesmen. You know, back in the day, not only did families have to have encyclopedias, but I hated the fact they got out of date since I love countries, but every time I turned around, like another country was becoming independent, and so my encyclopedia was out of date, and it was very upsetting. I said, I need a whole new set, and they'd give you like an update just for the year. And so then you'd have to have the one for like the last year. This is not a good chiffonade. But I don't want to cut my hands either. But there would be encyclopedia salesmen. People would go door to door and then try to sell you on encyclopedias. And they'd have to lug around like these big heavy books, and you'd order them, and they'd cost you like, you know, you could either have a car or you could have an encyclopedia. You have to buy the encyclopedia. And it was the World Book Encyclopedia and Encyclopedia Britannica. And there was a third one. I forgot what the third one was. But we were a World Book family. Our neighbors are... And we also had to have the Spanish encyclopedia, too. So... you have different books for every letter. God, it is so warm in here, it's not even funny. Ah, calor. No lo soporto. Esto está... caray. I'm sweating. Okay. Oh, I am not good at this chiffonading, especially in the heat. Oh my god, how am I supposed to do this? Well, I have 11 minutes. 11 minutes of chiffonade, parsley, and basil. And now I'm going to do the bad thing and rush. And just randomly shove stuff together. Because I don't know how to do this with small little leaves like this. This is the worst. I would fail. I would fail a culinary school chiffonading challenge. Tom Colicchio would say, "You're out." You know what? Actually, that looks like 2 tablespoons right there. So I'm losing the rest. Mucho frío aquí. ¿De dónde está? ¿Dónde estás? Si hace tanto frío, ¿dónde está? No sé. Estamos en Florida aquí. Mucho calor. Very hot. It's comfortable outside, but I had to close the damn windows because of the damn leaf blowers outside. So that was the parsley. 10 minutes. We have 10 minutes to go. Jessica, where's Jessica? Jessica, you are... Oh, you're the makeup artist. Yes, hello, I remember you. You're in New York. How are you doing? Okay, back to chiffonading. Now we're doing basil. Basil? Basil. I'll keep my head in the refrigerator and just keep it there. So, this will be easier. And these have been cleaned already. 2 tablespoons worth. These are bigger leaves. So that should make life easier. Oh, incidentally, speaking of basil, one of the best things I did so far, oddly enough, was not part of the global part, even though I did it when I cooked sao tome as a bonus dish. Junior, thanks for liking the restream. How are you doing? Was this basil cornbread that I made. I just had time, extra time to kill on that particular night, and I made it, and it was so good that I made that basil cornbread like about 6 times now. I made it for myself. I made it for like 3 separate family parties, another party. It was so good. And the key was just to make the excellent cornbread, and then to add chopped basil. And it was so good that, I mean, people are like, who made that? What's your recipe? Oh my god. So if you're interested in that, find the blog post for Sao Tome and Principe, and it's linked in there. It was like a bonus dish. Okay, that looks like about 2 tablespoons, I hope. It's gonna have to be. Ooh, that smells good. Smell, inhale. Take a good hit off of that. Okay. So we got 8 minutes to go on our yogurt. Ooh, I can breathe now, my god. Okay. Yay. Well, I'm gonna need to get stuff ready anyway. So let me toss this and put this aside. That's at the very end. I know normally one's supposed to chop their herbs at the very end so they don't dry out, but I don't have those kind of knife skills or time. So, pardonnez-moi. Oh my god, what a mess. Hold on, be right back. We're still here. Demon puppy. Okay. What are we gonna be doing here next? The yogurt. Yes, we're gonna be curds and whey. Little Miss Muppet sat on a tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Whey? Whey. No way, whey. So, for this, oh my god, I'm so hungry. Well, I still have a lot of time before dinner here. Which is crazy. But we have done this though. So, there's that. 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Yogurt bowls. Oh, so our yogurt bowls are almost ready. Well, partially almost ready. So there's a device that I have seen on television. I do not own, and it came up in to be used for this particular task that's coming up in a second here. It's sort of like a cone with like metal mesh in it, and you know, it's like a strainer of some kind, but cone-like with metal. I don't have that. I'm gonna use this. I hope that's okay. Because we're gonna need to strain out the liquid from the yogurt. That's what's gonna happen. Yes, it is. I might get some Chinese takeout. You're in New York, you can get good Chinese takeout, I am positive. Here, you think, but you'd be wrong. You would be wrong. There's one Chinese takeout place nearby, which is, like, average would be an overstatement. It's just blood. But now that I've been cooking, I don't eat out as much. We don't eat out as much at all. Which is strange, because now I can't remember the last time we had Chinese food. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I need my spatula, which is hiding here. Oh, goodness. Well, I got 4 minutes, I can clean. So you can watch the exciting task of me cleaning this, which is now sort of cooled off. Ay, coño. This thing is heavy as all get out. Put the lamp back. Okay, baby. We'll address you later. I bet. How much you want to bet? That Spanish Chinese food be poppin'. Ha ha ha. That would be an interesting combo. I'm not very far-fetched. And in Miami, everything is like slash Cuban. So it's Spanish slash Cuban. It's Italian slash Cuban. Spanish slash Cuban. So I never actually, felt like I was ever getting a pure international anything that wasn't like partially Cuban growing up. Okay, let's try that again. I've got how many seconds left on the yogurt? Okay, we will re-season you sort of later. Okay. Where you bought that shirt? Actually, I've got a shirt and an apron, but it's from the fine folks at the Funky Fairy. Funky Fairy at meerkattees.com. Meerkattees, TES.com. They were just in here earlier. They're in the UK. They will ship anywhere. They're embroidery. They do bags and assorted backpacks and toys and embroider things to your heart's delight. They're super great. They were in here earlier, and love them and support them. So meerkattees.com. So like I said, I'm just black on black here right now. Okay. So I've got my salt. I'm gonna need my measuring cups here, spoons rather. Again in just a second. I love Funky Fairy. They're so wonderful. They're the nicest people. I seen them in here earlier today, sort of help make a crappy day a better one. So, who can turn the world on with their smile? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! So, Tajikistan is over here. This is Asia. I'm upside down. No, Tajikistan's over here. Europe, Africa, South America. For some reason, it wants to focus on the Atlantic Ocean, this oven mitt here. Thank you for the like, HR Gomez G. Dominicano, veo. Me parece. No? I can't tell. Okay, time for a yogurt. Don't stick your face in hot oven. Okay. Okay. So this oven has been baking, this yogurt's been baking in the oven for an hour and a half. We're trying to make the yogurt balls. Did you watch the Mirror Up when Rob went to LA? It was so much fun. I saw bits of it on his Snapchat and such. But I didn't see the whole thing with Bob because I think I was doing something else at that precise moment. Oh, here. Okay, so the idea here is to take this yogurt and push it through, through that. That slid out rather easily. And let me take a picture. Now in Tajikistan you can buy the dried yogurt bowls like anywhere, but we're not in Tajikistan now, are we? So we have to make our own fake dried yogurt bowls. But since the yogurt bowls themselves get crumbled into the dish, it doesn't really matter that we're not making them into bowls because they're gonna get crumbled anyway. So we're trying to push out the liquid through the holes of the colander here, since I don't have that kitchen gadget. And now I realize that that other device has smaller holes than this would. So maybe I'm losing too much of it. But I say that's enough. So we got you. Let me take a picture of that. Focus. And now we're gonna put that back. We're gonna in here. Am I right? Yes. Back into the baking dish. Can you see? Well, you can kind of see. If one was being a purist, when one was done with making the yogurt balls, one would then make them into balls, but the problem is that once you make the balls, you're going to dissolve the balls in the liquid, which is coming later. Anyway, so it's sort of pointless to try to make the balls out of them unless you're going to dry them and keep them in your cabinet till you need them. Because who knows, you need dried yogurt balls on the regular. Maybe you do. Maybe you have a Tajikistani grandma. Maybe she has them in her cabinet already. Who knows? I don't know. It could happen. Okay. Alright, so now Dominican 100%, like that, like all other culture. Así mismo. Puertorriqueño aquí. Hermano. La comida dominicana que hice me salió muy bien. Pero hace casi año y medio. Okay, salt. We're adding 3/8 teaspoons of salt. So basically that's a 1/4 teaspoon and 1/8 teaspoon. In case your math fails you like it normally does me. Okay. And we're gonna mix that up somehow. Somewhere is, oh, here. I'm glad I got a small baking dish. And now that we've done that, we're going to cook this for another 30 minutes. ¡Huepa! ¡Epa! ¡Colombiana! Buenas. 30 minutes. ¿Qué hice yo por Colombia? La bandeja, eso, me salió Parte bien, parte no tan bien. The what I did for Colombia, part of it came out really well and part of it not so great. Okay, set timer go. 30 minutes on the yogurt. So, which should bring it to... So we're back to being 15 minutes behind. Great, 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 great. When the bread is going to be ready. The bread is going to be ready. What was happening with the bread? 6:05. 6:05. Wait a minute. No, what? Okay, the bread. 6:05. Yep. PR Colombia. Ah, ahí mismo. When I grew up, my neighborhood in Miami, it was crazy. We were Puerto Rican. Our next door neighbors were Colombian, and on the other side, the partially Venezuelan. And then back in another corner, they were Nicaraguan, and oddly enough, Miami, we did not have a Cuban on the block. But just about every other, I don't think there were Mexicans on the block. Nicaraguan, but there's one, one Anglo, like one non-Latino family on the entire block, which is weird. Es hermoso y he ido a... Me encantó, país tan hermoso. I have not been to DR myself. I should, but I haven't. My parents have gone many times. But I have not. I need to. Okay, let me focus here. Okay, so we've got the bread, which I put in. And was it at 5:05? So I would have like another 15 some odd minutes to go before that's ready. And then oh my god. And the lamb will be ready in 1 hour and 22 minutes for the next phase, which puts it at 7 before 7:10. Hopefully we're gonna figure this out. Sí, hombre, nuestros políticos lo tienen por el piso. Ay, no me diga. No, Puerto Rico, tú sabes que la cosa está feísima ahora. Things in Puerto Rico are just a big old mess right now. Big old mess. Which is very sad. One of many things that was impressing me today. Makes you want to crawl up in a ball and just, you know, pull in the hole after you. Yes. So, where are we here? 30 minutes on... This, I should be able to like have multiple timers and like label what each one is. So nothing is happening here. The lamb is 1 hour 20 minutes there. The yogurt is 26 minutes to go there. I think I have another 15 minutes to go before I can do the next step on the bread. And yes. Yes. Okay, so that gives me more time to clean. So, the part of this issue was that there was a lot of hurry up and wait, because I have to get stuff going, and then you have to sit and wait until the next thing. And that gave me time in between to clean, but I know that's not very exciting for y'all. ¿Tienes algo de PR ayer? Ay. The situation in Puerto Rico is so depressing. It's just not even funny. It's not even funny. And it's a unique situation. That's because of this sort of the status with the U.S. thing. And when you get into conversations with people and family about it, it gets, like, people get really mad. I mean, like, super hella mad. I mean, like people don't talk to each other for years afterwards mad. It's just, and now, I don't even know. At least the one thing everyone can agree on, everyone can agree that things are messed up now. So people can finally agree on something. It is tragic. So, my parents just got back from there just 2 days ago. Sad. Trying to think of happy stuff. Because that's gonna put me back in the crappy mood I was in before we started. This is, like I said, not a good day. Cooking therapy. Oh yes, it is like WW3, LOL. Yeah, indeed. It's bad sitch. So, happy thoughts. Happy talk, happy talk. While we wait on our yogurt and bread. So what's going to happen with the bread is that when it's finished resting in the refrigerator, which is what we're waiting on right now, after that, that's going to get rolled out into a flatbread, and then that's going to be baked in the oven. And then, but I need to put a design. I need to put a design pattern onto the bread and put sesame seeds in it and such. And if you look and you see the Tajikistani women creating ones usually for weddings and such, they put in these intricate designs and they have these stamps that they put into it, and it's really very beautiful. Me dice, y después, como dicen los gringos, que ellos tienen que poder de hacer de lo que ellos quieran, básicamente es lo que se entiende. This will be like non-bread. Sort of like, yes. Sí, lo que dice. Yes, sort of like, although oddly not, at the same time. And the reason I say that is because the bread that would be going, oh, thank you for the follow, is that the non-bread, specifically non-bread, or in this case non-bread, which is spelled like N-O-N as opposed to N-A-A-N, their version, slightly different spelling, same concept, is yeast. Has yeast, it has to rise. This does not. This is more like, supposed to be like a puff pastry. So, that's the difference between that one and this one. They both will have the patterns and whatever. This one, it doesn't really matter that much because it's getting broken up. It isn't being served as its own thing. It's being incorporated into something else, so I shouldn't really try to get carried away with the design. Design is like the last thing I can do. So, cleaning, and we have about 9 more minutes to go, more or less, on the bread. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's Friday. It's Friday. Happy weekend. Anybody have plans for the weekend? Interesting plans? Good plans? Happy stuff? Not depressing stuff? That would be nice. Oh, you know what? Since I'm sitting here and I'm staring at it, my cast iron here, I'm gonna try to keep seasoning it, just because not knowing enough about it, I'm afraid that it's going to rust like it did the first time I put it away. And this is a heavy mofo. Could come after people with this. Hurt them badly. Yeah! Phooey. And away we go. I have gout in my right foot. I'm not doing anything. Oh dear. That's not good. Sorry to hear that, Anne-Marie. That's not good. Gout was just in the news, I believe. Yes, it was. A person in the news has gout. That's why I was thinking of it. I'm sorry that's happened to you. That's not good. Health problems suck. They suck. Oh, yeah. La vida. La vida fuerte. Life is rough. It's a bitch. Yes. There's no getting out of this one alive. Okay. So, you want to see something? I've shown it before, but I have no use for it. Anyone want to come over for some? Someone gave this to us. Organic pumpkin flavored vodka. We have no use for this. And it seems wrong for me to throw it away. But I really have no use for it. I've been like debating throwing it out. I mean, talking about things that give you gag reflexes, the idea of pumpkin flavored vodka, that activates my gag reflex. I'm cleaning this all off, and I'm gonna wind up putting flour all over it in seconds too. Very exciting. Ay, Dios mío. How are we doing? 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. 8 minutes to go. This is to proof the bread. It's funny, watching Top Chef yesterday. Anybody else watch Top Chef? I feel like I think there's only one other person on here who ever watches Top Chef. I was watching it last night. We haven't seen the Last Chance Kitchen yet, though, so don't spoil that. But, that was weird. They had to cook for a thing called a beefsteak, which is apparently an LA tradition where politicians and, I guess, mafiosos would all gather together and eat, giant pieces of meat with their hands. Annual tradition, and so everyone's there in the tuxedos, but they've got aprons on, and you're not allowed to use utensils. And it's supposed to be eating like big pieces of meat and have, big mess everywhere, which I would not want to participate in. Not for people with OCD. Oh, which reminds me. So, pero hay que vivirla así mismo. What other option do you have? Don't watch Top Chef, so let's hear it. Oh no, it was good. I mean, they're down to a certain number of chefs, and they had to be in teams, but they all had to do this thing with making food for this banquety thing, and people didn't figure out that they were supposed to give people like, here's half a cow, go at it. So people tried to do things, like we'll have fish with, whatever on top, or, sausage, which isn't too fatty, and they're like, no, we want, But again, it's strange seeing people all dressed up in their finery to make a mess out of things. I need you to do me a little favor. Look at that for just a minute, and I'll be right back. And we're back. No, I'm not ending the stream. Okay. I've got a halo. I can see your halo. Hey, have a nice cooking. See you around. Thank you so much for coming by. Catch you later. Hope I've already followed you. Oh, I'll give you a follow there. Yay. Thank you. We've got 4 minutes on our bread, so let's get our flour going down on this, because we're going to start rolling that sucker out. I might as well try to... Holy balls. They've got Tajikistani hip-hop going there. That was not good. That was not good. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to hurt your little head. Sorry. This lens that I have, it just the holder broke off, which that happens. So while we adjust, sorry, didn't mean to bump your head there. Okay, we're gonna need to be able to see our counter here. So we're gonna flour up our counter here. It is so warm. We need lots of flour for this one. And we need to get our sesame seeds going too. And those are sitting over here. Danny, thank you for the restream. Okay. How are we doing? It's time. I say it's time. Okay, time to get our... Is it time to bust a rhyme? Time for vodka and lime? So we have our piece of dough that we've had sitting in the fridge for an hour now. So we take you out and put you like that. And then take a picture. I think I should have put it in like vertically, but we'll live. It's supposed to be a cylinder. Hey, Danny, it's not a cylinder, but it'll do. Today is Friday. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna take you and we're gonna smash it down. It's gonna be a ½ inch thick and 7 inches in diameter. And the flour goes everywhere. Get out my aggressions. Pound the crap out of that flour. Niels, how you doing? So good seeing you. Jurgen, thank you for the like. Yes, we're into hour what of this epic. We're entering hour 3 of this epic Tajikistani meal. If you are just joining us, we're making Qurutob, which is a multi-part dish. It's this part is the bread, which is called Fatir. It's a flatbread, and that's one element of the dish. The other element is the dried yogurt balls. That so good to hear, Niels. Fatir, the yogurt balls, which are called Qurut. I hope I'm getting the pronunciation right. In any case, I need my rolling pin. This need to be a ½ inch thick and 7 inches in diameter. So I think I might already be almost there. 7 inches is... Golly gee, that's almost it right there. I don't think I even need that. I need plenty of flour though. Holy moly, hour 3. Yeah, and there's more to go. Yeah. This has got multi-parts. Like I was saying at the beginning of all this, that normally in your Tajikistan, you can go to the corner and you can buy the bread and you can buy your dried yogurt balls, and that makes this, and you'll often get this as a vegetarian dish. However, this version has lamb shanks, which are also in the oven. So we are dusting this up good, and we'll try to get fancy. I can't believe just by doing that I got it down to the size that quickly. I thought that was going to require a lot more work. Wow. But first, something takes less time than usual. Shady Brady, thank you for the follow. A long time ago watching live. I know, it's been a long time. Did I miss somebody? Sweetum, thank you for the restream there. Okay, so now that we have this, I need to take a picture. So it means I need to wash my hands. Hold that thought. Yeah, I hope the world didn't come apart in the 3 hours. Because I wouldn't know about it. I would not know about it. Because I've been in Do Not Disturb mode. Which always stresses me out afterwards, going, oh my god! We didn't lose any 60s rock stars in the 3 hours, did we? We seem to be losing them like on an hourly basis now. Okay, so we've got that, and now using, I'm gonna try to get fancy a little bit, because I did see, I did see a Tajikistani grandma pulling this off, so I'm gonna try to do a little bit of that, just to give you an idea. I hate this thing, of how this would go. Making these little patterns. And I'm not a designer. I don't have an artistic flair. But just to give you an idea, I'm trying to put in a pattern into this so you can see at the end sort of just a vague idea as to what this might look like if it was done in Tajikistan. Now normally they have these little stamps that they put into things, so there'll be like a sun pattern or something in it, but we ain't got that. So I'm just faking it. Thusly. And the other way around. There are so many traditions around bread. Like I said at the beginning of this, in Tajikistan, it is said that if you do not have bread, you don't have food. You can have all the meat in the world, but if you don't have bread, you don't have food. Which makes life really interesting for old Cliffy here, because bread is like not something I am good at. Baking is not my strong suit. Thankfully, this particular flatbread does not involve yeast and things having to rise. So, at least I got that going for me. Okay, so we've got, you know, a little pattern. And now we're going to take the sesame seeds and sprinkle them on. And then I can take a picture of that. And then we need to press the sesame seeds in to the dough and try to do the same on the other side. This is not a circle. Mummy, thank you for the restream. Hello, how are you doing? Clifton, thank you for the restream. So working on our Tajikistani bread, our flat bread, by pressing in the sesame seeds into it, and my pattern got wiped out when I flipped it. Because again, I don't know what I'm doing. Normally when they do it, I said they have a vertical oven that they drop things into. They have like a big sort of, imagine oven mitt, now imagine a pillow made like an oven mitt. So they take the whole bread on the oven mitt thing and drop it in. But we don't have that. So, and now that we have this, I'll get my bacon dish out. Cover it with parchment paper. I'm not good at that. I don't know how people do this. I really don't. But we'll make it work. Come on, get in there. They're right about it sticking. So we have this on here, and that's gonna be ready to go in to the oven later. However, 25 to 30 minutes. Oddly enough, this is one step that I actually did like faster than usual, which is strange. I need to wash my hands and be right back. Okay, how's everybody doing? How's our 6 p.m. shift coming in? Okay, how we have a timer going somewhere. The timer on the lamb, there's still an hour to go. There's still 55 minutes to go on the lamb, which is crazy. The 19 seconds to go on the yogurt bowls. So that means I'm doing well there, sort of. except for the part where I've made a mess of the counter. 15, 14, 13, oh. Okay, so that was the yogurt. So what's happening to the yogurt? What's happening to the yogurt? Did this, hold on a second. Yes, okay. The bread goes into the oven for how long? The bread goes in the oven for 30 minutes. So let's do that. We're gonna take out the yogurt and put in the bread. So I need my oven mitts. I'm gonna go back over there, I'm gonna get out the yogurt, I'm gonna put it on the counter, and then I'm gonna put the bread in. So, don't put your face in the hot oven. Okay, this is what that looks like. It is 6:15. The bread goes in the oven for 30 minutes. So let's set the timer for 30 minutes. That's for the bread now. Okay. So, how much longer is it going to be for that? 53 minutes. Wow. Yep. The lamb takes a long time. Lamb shanks take a long time to cook. So what are we doing with the, I gotta figure out what I'm doing with the yogurt bowls now that I took it out. Bread, onions, lamb shanks, lamb yogurt bowls, back up. When bowls are, okay. So what I'm gonna do with the yogurt is I need to not burn my hands, but I'm gonna let that cool for a hot second, no pun intended, so I can clean off this counter. Because I've made a big old mess of things now, haven't I? Ew, yuck. Yuck. I hate working with flour. And I find myself working with flour just about every freaking week now. I am not a baker. I'm not a pastry chef. And we listen to Tajikistani music, in case you're wondering. Who knew that the Tajikistani had hip-hop? Who knew? In Dusham. I was watching a Periscope guy this morning from Dusham on his saved feed. He's showing how it was snowing. It's on his balcony of his nice little apartment. You'd think he was Russian. There's so many Russian people on Periscope. It's crazy. It's like, if it's not, like half the time, it's, I'm seeing stuff is in Russian. And people writing Russian. Even in Miami. I'm seeing people like go in Miami. And it's like, it's either Arabic or Russian. It's weird. Nothing wrong with that, I just find it unusual. Okay. Alright. More cleaning. More cleaning, and then we will separate the curds and whey on our yogurt. Okay. And then we'll be good to go for the next step. People so quiet. Okay. So next step is to get rid of this. Okay, this is hot. So I need a oven mitt. And I'm going to need a bowl for that to land in. pardon the dangling preposition. So this solid goes out of here into here. Hopefully it's solid now, or there's not liquid, rather. The idea is to get this as dried out as possible. If one was being a purist, one would wait for this to cool and make little bowls of the yogurt. But we're not doing that because it's going to wind up getting dropped into the dish and dissolved anyway. So it's kind of pointless to do that. I did not just burn my knuckle. This is going to wind up getting incorporated into the dish at the end with the lamb, which is in the oven, the tomatoes, which are cooking in with the lamb in the oven, and the liquid from the tomatoes and the lamb, which is in the oven, and the onions, which are sitting behind me, and dressed with the basil and parsley, which is also sitting behind me, and that will make our Qurutob, which is the actual final dish. So this is the history, and this is what yogurt looks like when you bake it for 2 hours. Okay, we have 24 minutes on that. On the bread. We have 47 minutes to go on the lamb. I just made another mess. Okay, so we have done this. This was, I've got 6 pages of instructions that I had to type out. And that's how detailed this was. This is odd. Yeah, I tried to time things out, and I started early, and I was freaked out. And the weird part is I started late, I'm ending late, but yet I have a big gap of time here in the middle. Which kind of sucks. Well, because it's not that entertaining. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Because this would be the time. Because I got the time to answer questions. While we wait. As we stumble along. Yeah. You need a refresher on where Tajikistan is located? Anything about Tajikistan I can tell you? One more time. Can you find Tajikistan on this map, on this globe? One more time. So you got your northern hemisphere, right? You got your, I'm looking at this backwards here. So you got Russia, here, Mongolia and China. You with me so far? India, and Pakistan, and Afghanistan. So far so good? Okay, so Russia up here, and this is Kazakhstan. We cooked that one before Meerkat. And Kyrgyzstan is this funny shaped one over here, where they eat a lot, actually in Tajikistan also, horse meat and horse dairy is a thing, and especially in Kyrgyzstan. They eat a thing called kumis, which is fermented mare's milk, which a friend of mine ate some dried bowls from fermented mare's milk. He was not grooving on that. But Tajikistan is that shaped right there. This one right there is Tajikistan. It's separated from Pakistan by that little arm of Afghanistan. Am I looking at this right? Afghanistan. See the little arm that sticks out? That's the little bit that separates Pakistan from Tajikistan. And Dushanbe is right about there. It's the capital. And they were part of the Soviet Union that broke up in 1991, and then they had a civil war until 1997, and then they've been trying to work their way back since. And they are the poorest of the former Soviet states, making most of their money off aluminum and cotton. But Dushanbe is a beautiful city. Google pictures of Dushanbe, the capital of Tajikistan. It is a beautiful city. You've got the mountains and whatever, and it looks like a really nice place. Very beautiful. In fact, like I said, I was just looking at Periscope from there today, and it looks very, very beautiful. It is one of the prettiest places. It's all very mountainous. 90% of the country is in the mountains. So that is Tajikistan. Asking if Diana changed her avatar. So I have time to kill while we wait. Tajikistan pop music. Now I told myself that at a certain time I wasn't going to start on the heating up the part of the Qurutob, the final dish, until later because I don't want it sitting around getting cold. So that's why the tap dancing here. And if I tap dance here, I'll slide because there's flour on the ground now. Help me! Somebody help me! Yes, people kept thinking I worked for Meerkat, and of course I didn't. Ah, yes. I got that too. Oh, so that's your new avatar, I see. Oh, speaking of which, I just made a mess on my lens on my phone. Hopefully I won't fall out again. That didn't hurt now, did it? Okay. So, what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna need... You know what? I think I might wind up using the cast iron skillet again. Because at the end... Or not. Because I'm going to need to take out the lamb and take out the bones. That's going to go one way. And then the liquid is going to go another way. And the tomatoes are going to go a third way. So I'm going to need a bowl of that. So what's going to happen is the lamb, once it's ready, is going to come out the lamb shanks. We're going to get the meat off the bones. Bones go away. The skins go off the tomatoes. Skins go away. Liquid goes out of everything, and that sits somewhere else. And then eventually it all gets put in together. And then into the oven to warm up again for another 5 minutes. Oh my goodness, why are you not plugged in? Yeah. Okay, don't fall. So we're ready for that when that happens. I'll need the oven mitt for that too. Keep me company, people. Something. See, if I wasn't a meerkat, I'd just be sitting in front of the computer now. Like, checking what depressing is happening in the world in the past 3 hours that we've been sitting here. Killing time. Killing time. Oh, might as well wash. Wait for the husband to get home. Doo-doo-doo. Such a day. Such a day. Considering I really only had one job to do today, which was to do my shopping and like spend like however much time putting this whole cooking plan together today and then do it. Jürgen asks, still have to watch your Sweden sessions. Are they on YouTube? Yes, they are on YouTube. Go to cliffyland.com for the details, and YouTube, search for Cliffyland and you'll see our channel. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, that would be super groovy. It is up there. Everything's up there on YouTube, and it's on Catch if you want to get there, if you want to go. But the YouTube, if you subscribe and if you watch an ad, that, you know, gives me like a penny. And I feel validated. I don't feel economically enriched, but I feel validated. Yes, if people were looked close, Cliffy, it's my Daewoo tea from Funky Fairy. Ah, ha ha ha. I see now. See, I don't see the edges of it, so I couldn't tell. It was so nice they were by earlier. It was so lovely seeing them. I mean, the fact that I started early, and, you know, with the time difference, they were able to see, which is very nice, because I have not seen them in a while, and I miss them terribly. We're Snapchat buddies, though. So, but I only do Snapchat when I have something, you know, when I go somewhere, do something interesting. Which is only every so often. Like last weekend, last weekend went to Disney World. And went to Magic Kingdom and Trader Sam's, which was really fun. And and we're heading back there again in April because I'm doing the half marathon. But one of the reasons I've been bummed is, one of several, is that this happened last winter too. I missed them too, yeah. But they were here, so that was great. Was that, and this, I should have known because this happened last winter. Like, if the weather gets nice here and I go, oh good, I can run really long distances. You know, so I can do 10 miles every other day and 13 on, you know, on Sundays. But, between the increase 1 month over the next and me worrying about being injured, I wound up injuring myself. Which meant I couldn't run yesterday. Which, you know, I couldn't see outdoors and it just was not happy. I was trying to figure out what to cook for Tajikistan that would not overlap with Uzbekistan and any of the other Central Asian republics that I've already cooked. Who are we looking at here? B-Turn 2019. Thank you for liking the restream. Hey, 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 hey. Who are we looking at here? Darius. Hello, Darius. How you doing? Good seeing you. Right now, I'm sort of kind of killing time while I wait for some stuff to happen. Because we have the flatbread baking and fingernails on the chalkboard. In the oven. The flatbread is baking and the lamb is baking, and I can't get on to the Qurutob, the final, you know, composed product, until at least one of those is ready. Because what the final dish is it's now here's the thing. We're gonna eat this on plates, like Western style. That's not how it's done there. There are many food traditions, and one of them is that this is supposed to be served in family style in the middle of the table. Everyone's supposed to eat with their hands, only with their hands. And it is considered bad form to eat anything other than what's directly in front of you. So you can't like reach to the other side and get a better piece of meat. And the elder person always eats first. We're not doing that. In fact, I don't think I'm even doing the communal plate thing, even for the two of us. The Central Asian stuff is a lot of stuff like that, though. Like when I cook Mongolia, which I wish I can't. I mean, it'll be years before you get around to seeing it, if we're all still around. What I did for Mongolia, and you can see that on cliffyland.com, just at .com, because the Mongolia one was super cool, because that you know, they're just out there on the plains, and the horsemen, and they don't have a lot to choose from. So one of their dishes is kind of gross if you're a vegan, because they would take a whole goat or lamb, but usually, you know, a goat. And in reality, usually an old one, because they don't want to spare the young ones. Which means the meat is tough. But anyway, they take it and they kill it, and then they stuff blazing hot rocks that are in the fire and shove it inside. And then the whole thing cooks from the inside out. Another thing they do is sort of like what we tried to do in a pot. They do it in like a drum in the ground, but they took these rocks that I went and got at the hardware store and put them in the oven at in the broiler, and then put them in the lined pot, you know, with tongs, and then put the meat in and the vegetables and closed it up and put it in the turned off oven for 5 hours. And it was super tasty. But normally they would they'd hold the stones and get the grease from the lamb on their hands and keep their hands warm, and they'd eat the meat and all that stuff. So that was really cool. I can't wait to try that again. But we didn't eat with our hands though. Hey, who are we looking at here? Rebecca, hello Rebecca, how are you doing? How are you doing? Thank you for the like there. Justin, how you doing? Dímelo. ¿Cómo tú? No tan bien, pero sabe, seguimos en la lucha. We are going on with life. We are cooking a Qurutob, one of the national dishes of Tajikistan, which is a dish with many parts, and that's why we are in hour 4. Am I right? 4, 5, 6, 8. No, hour 3. Of this, because we had to make the flatbread, called Fatir, I believe, the flatbread for the dish, which goes into it. We had to make the yogurt bowls, which is baking yogurt, which goes into the dish. The lamb shanks are cooking, which are in the oven, and the bread is in the oven. So right now we're in this weird in-between time while we wait for stuff to happen. And so that's why you're seeing me clean right now. This is a cheap product that holds onto this lens, I tell you what. Okay, one more time. Don't fall down. Don't want to give these people a heart attack. Don't give me a heart attack. Okay. Here. That's the ceiling. Okay, one more time. Don't fall down. It is so warm in here. Because I've been standing in this, with the hot oven going the whole time since 4 o'clock. And it's almost 7. No, it's 6:30. Jeez Louise. I made butter chicken earlier. You did? That sounds good. I have not made chicken in a while now. Just the alphabet has worked in favor of lamb lately. In fact, so much so that the guy at the Publix on the corner is very confused why suddenly people are buying up his lamb, that no one ever orders lamb here. It's like, did the neighborhood suddenly change? I bet he's wondering. Okay, so one more time. The bread has 8 more minutes to go. I used turmeric instead of curry powder. Oh, that's great. Had you used turmeric before? Turmeric is really great. Mirhaba. Qu'est-ce que c'est mirhaba? Yusuf. Hello, Yusuf. Tell me more about mirhaba. Or is that a word that I do not know? Well, it is a word I don't know. It was nice to meet someone. Hi, friend. Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Yes. So we have the. We made our, what is this, the Qurut. We're trying to make the Qurut, which is the dried yogurt balls. We're not making them into bowls because we're putting them in the Qurutob. Later, we have our flatbread. Turkish. I see. Yes, there are Turkish influences across this entire planet. It's crazy. Okay, now I know. Ooh, that's good. I need to remember that. I have a friend who is Hungarian, but he's living in Turkey, so marhaba. Good. Marhaba to you too. I know something now. Yay! But no, it's so interesting how the Turkish influences the Ottoman influences just covered the planet. And so like everyone has a wrapped, you know, stuffed vegetable or wrapped vegetable, and it's all because of the Turkish influence. So I'm really nervous that by the time I get to Turkey in a few weeks, that I will have used up every, you know, thing Turkish already in some fashion. I need to find something that's like 100% nobody else, Turkish and nobody else. Because they fell further back in the alphabet, and that's makes things tricky. It's like Zimbabwe and Zambia are going to be really tricky because there are 54 African countries, and by that time I will have done 52 of them. So there won't be much left that, you know, to be truly unique to a country. And with the whole thing, like today with Tajikistan, I was desperately trying to figure out what I could do for Tajikistan that would not overlap with Uzbekistan. Because the Tajik people also live in Uzbekistan, and they both eat plov, as does everyone else in Central Asia. I did a version of plov for Azerbaijan way back in year 1, which was so good I made it 3 times. I made it for myself, I made it for, again, I made it for my parents. That was really good. That was one of the first really good dishes. Again, everything's at cliffyland.com. You can follow on Facebook. Look for Cliffyland, the Global Cooking Challenge, on Twitter. On Meerkat, of course, right here, you can follow. And Instagram, on Pinterest, and now on YouTube. So check it out. Follow the blog. Is at cliffyland.com. You can see pictures, links to the original recipes, videos, information about the countries, and reviews of how things went. Yusuf, thank you. Yes. 4 minutes to go on the bread. This is so weird that the Western influences in the Tajik music. Now Tajik is the people. Tajikistani is the people of the country. I try not to use these things interchangeably. Like, for instance, when I cooked, what was it? Well, we're going to get more into Oceania. You have a few more countries in the Pacific before we're done. But like when I cooked Micronesia, that was geographically interesting because the Federated States of Micronesia is a country. Micronesia is an island chain. Some islands are in Micronesia that are not in the Federated States of Micronesia, and some islands are in the Federated States of Micronesia that are not in the island chain of Micronesia. So it's very confusing. So, all this fun geography stuff. Okay, so what am I doing here? I'm gonna need to strain and pick out the that and the bread. So the bread's gonna need to cool, and the lamb. How can the lamb have 26 minutes to go? I ask you. How can that be? That's crazy. You are inspiring, Cliffy, so your streams. We'll try to join you again soon. Thank you so much for Jurgen. Thank you so much for coming by. Boy. I just hate these things that it takes. And you know, another dish I was thinking of doing for Tajikistan, if I wasn't going to do the plov, which I might do for Tuesday, and the naan, which is another bread, which I might do for Tuesday, but I don't have to be making another bread, but, you know, there's a stew. But I mean, stews are great, and I loved stews much better before we had this, because, you know, I'd set it and I'd walk away for an hour, and I could do stuff, and then I'd come back and dinner would be ready. Now I need to, you know, kill time. And I don't feel like ending the stream and coming back and going, hey, we're back! So, go figure. It is so hot in this kitchen right now, it's not even funny. Oh my god. Unfair. It's actually quite nice outside. It is technically 61 degrees outside. You know what, I'm gonna open the windows. Turkish kebab. Ah! Oh, like kebabs? I may have to do that. I tried to stay, I mean, every country, not every country, but so many countries, from Africa to Central Asia to Turkey to the United States to Central America, have a dish or a number of dishes which are grilled meats. In terms of the kebabs, bye Danny, thanks for coming by. The grilled meats, and I've done them a couple times, but they involve the grill here, and that for me is a big drag because every time I decide that I'm going to use the grill, it rains. It just knows that I'm going to grill. B, last time I tried, I ran out of propane. I haven't bought more. And C, it's dark out there. But I may have to. Lionel, thank you for the follow, or for the restream rather. Lucas, hello. How are you doing? Thank you for the like. We have got 24, 23, 22, 21. I'm gonna quickly open the windows. Because it is hot. And it's colder up there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year. Okay. Time to... We are... Where are we? We are here. Off this edge. Okay. The bread. How's that bread looking? That bread is definitely not ready. Probably because I have it baking at 300 and not 350. But that's okay. I hope. Because I don't have two ovens. I don't have two ovens, so I don't know what to do. Because it's 300 for 2.5 hours on the lamb, and that has another 22 minutes to go. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Entertain me, people. Entertain me. What is this? I got invited somewhere. That's a first. Interesting. Maybe. Hey, you're back. Darius, yes, how you doing? We're sitting here killing time. Because, I am sitting here waiting for the bread to be ready, which is, taking longer because, number one, it did not say what temperature to bake it at. I assume 350. However, everything else was in the oven. The yogurt bowls. Okay, what am I cooking? Starting from the beginning. It's a Qurutob, 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 which is a Tajikistani national dish. It is a family-style, normally, dish with fried onions, and this one's gonna have dried yogurt balls. We had to make our own dried yogurt balls by baking yogurt. We're not making them into balls because, you know, they're gonna get dissolved anyway. And inside it has bread, but we had to make the bread. So the bread is a flatbread called Fatir. It's a flatbread, and that's what's baking. So we have the Qurut, the yogurt bowls, which are not bowls, the Fatir, which is the flatbread, all put together in with lamb shanks, which are in the oven, and the liquid from the lamb shanks and the tomatoes in a dish which is called Qurutob. And I hope I got the pronunciation right. So I hope that answered your question. Thank you for the restream. How are things with you? I am sitting here killing time. I hope the world did not come to an end while I've been sitting here for hours. Somebody reposted one of my my Papua New Guinea pin. Whoever you are, Christine, thank you. I am on Pinterest, but I don't really ever get anybody doing anything on Pinterest, because when I pin it, I just pin with the flag and not a picture of the food, and people like the pictures of the food. But that's okay. And that's okay. Oh my god, this is killing me. So, again, since I'm killing time, and I have 19 minutes to go on the meet, my plan for phase 2. Again, Zimbabwe, last of the 193 UN member states, comes at the end of July. Gonna take a vacation, and then I'm gonna do Puerto Rico, or the other way around. Being Puerto Rican, I want to do a big Puerto Rican hoedown. Although that would not be the word in Puerto Rican. Spanish Puerto Rican. I don't know if the family wants to come from Puerto Rico or not, but, you know, or maybe I'll just have friends, or who knows what. But then I want to go to do some of the other non-UN member state territories, places, which tends to get a little bit of conflict going, because for the very reasons they're not UN member states. You have 2 UN observer states, which are not full UN members. One is Vatican City, which is, you know, we'll do a Roman dish. The other is Palestine, which is, you know, never controversial. Then there's the issue of Kosovo, which Serbia says is part of Serbia, and Kosovo is trying to get its ducks in a row to be its own UN member state, eventually. Then there's the issue of Taiwan, which, you know, with China and stuff. Do you want to count Tibet? I don't know. You know, that's, do you want to do that? There's Western Sahara, which had a lot of historical bad luck. Morocco claims it as part of itself, but then so does Algeria and Mauritania. So it's always like that, when you ever look at a map, it's like the gray, undetermined area. That's Western Sahara. They have their own name for their country, and they'd like to be their own country, but there's a complicated issue there. So those are some of the obvious, you know, big hits. But I don't want to do, oh, and I was also thought about doing French Guiana, even though it's a French overseas territory. But that's a big spot. But that covers most of the rest of the world. There's a million other territories and semi-autonomous states and sovereign states, but a lot of them are, you know, those breakaway places where Russians have landed and said, hey, we're our own thing, sort of like what you heard with Ukraine and such. Then there's a million other islands that are either part of France or Germany or the Netherlands or who knows what. And I don't want to do like a million island countries, because that's kind of a drag. Because there's only so much fish or coconut or spam that you can do. If you were with us through St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent the Grenadines, Samoa, and Sao Tome and Principe, that was 5 island countries out of 6, 5 saint countries out of 6. It was a slog, and I could only take so much breadfruit. But who knows? Maybe I'll get it right next time. Okay, let's see if that bread's any better now.
Something
The
smells
husband
awfully
has
good.
arrived. Hello, sweetie. How are you?
Good.
Ay, Dios mío. Okay, let's see if that bread's any better. So that's what it looks like now. See, it really should have been at a hotter temperature. I'm gonna put it back in. Simple as that. Did I answer? No, I already answered that. Yes, okay.